Now, the second dawn of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, the Russian forces are pressing ever closer to the heart of the country, making their way steadily towards Kyiv. And according to the latest, the fighting is in fact taking place on the outskirts of Kyiv. But there have been reports and visuals of helicopters, Russian helicopters, hovering over the Ukrainian airspace that have been reported, especially over the Gostomel airbase on the outskirts of Kyiv. Now, the US officials have said that the Russian forces are already virtually fighting their battle for Kyiv. According to Ukraine's army, the Russian forces are approaching from the east and the northeast of Ukraine. And there are also reports of two loud explosions that were heard in Kyiv earlier this morning. Now, Ukraine's foreign minister has also tweeted that horrific Russian missile strikes being conducted on the capital city of Kyiv earlier this morning, and he's again called on the world leaders to stop Vladimir Putin in his onslaught on Ukraine. And there are claims and counterclaims that are also coming forth in terms of the fighting that is presently underway. The Ukrainian forces claim that they have downed another Russian jet that was flying over the Ukrainian airspace earlier this morning, and this happened over the capital city of Kyiv. And once this particular jet was reportedly shot down by the Ukrainian forces, it went and crashed into a residential building, which resulted in a bit of a fire. These are the visuals of that residential building, which reportedly suffered a lot of destruction because of a Russian jet that had been shot down, crashed into it. Now, at this point of time, it has not been independently verified whether this particular jet, which the Ukrainian forces claim to have shot down, was a fighter jet, or was it a drone, or was it just a missile that was possibly fired at Ukraine. Now, the Kyivan municipal authorities have said that at least about 8 people have been injured when this particular object crashed into an apartment block. Meanwhile, in a midnight address, the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has said that his country has been left alone in the fight against Russia after the Kremlin launched a full-scale invasion. He also has warned that the Russian sabotage groups had entered the capital and has urged for the residents to be vigilant and to observe curfew rules.
Але є й друге. Ми залишаємось наодинці у захисті нашої держави. Хто готовий воювати разом з нами? Чесно, не бачу таких. Хто готовий дати Україні гарантію вступу до НАТО? Чесно, всі бояться.
According to reports that have come in, at least about 137 people so far have been killed in Ukraine, including both the military personnel and civilians. This is the tally as it stood on day one of the invasion. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has in fact called for conscripts and reservists countrywide to come and fight, as he's ordered for a general mobilization against the Russian onslaught. And also, according to reports that have come in, at least about 100,000 people are said to have been internally displaced, and they are on their way out from the big cities such as Kyiv as Russian missiles continue to rain down from the skies. The Ukrainian refugees are also beginning to trickle into the neighboring nations such as Hungary and Romania and Poland. Poland, for instance, is gearing up for almost about 1 million refugees from Ukraine if the crisis continues. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.